That one hit me.
I would like to see the international community support us and give us backing in this activity, and to understand that their homes are now in danger. You see, the Islamic terrorism attacks the whole world now. And if we do not put an end, put a wall against this terror, all Europe is in danger. All the Western society.
This is my land, you.
This is not your land. It belongs to these families.
Man, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna kill you and the Palestinians. You Nazi, you son of a shit. This is my house. This is my land. God gave it to me. And fuck you.
Most of the Israelis have not a slightest idea what's going on in Hebron. The media hardly shows them. Nobody wants them to know. And we became a society which cares only about itself, and even this, less and less. And all the rest, we have this wonderful excuse of security. If this doesn't work, we can always bring up the Holocaust. Citing the late Golda Meir, who said that after the Holocaust, the Jews have the right to do whatever they want. And that's the way of thinking. And human rights is really something for European salons, but not for our reality. We are not dealing with it. We deal only with our fate.
The real story is the political power that settlers have. It's the power to influence the commanders, the brigade officer. You know, he's the sheriff of Hebron, right? He controls everything. He sneezes, all Hebron feels it. And every brigade commander of Hebron knows that if he will confront the settlers, he'll finish his army career.
That's a soldier truck, right?
It is a soldier truck.
That's not good, is it? Mishklet.
طيب هلا أخذوه هلا.
When I came here in 2001, this building was still full. This building, so like around 3-4 Palestinian families used to still live here. They were the only one who were allowed to walk in this road and through the gates. Today you can see this building is totally empty. This building has like 3 or 4 families left inside. This building is a very actual story, this building. You can see how it's blocked now. The settlers invaded here in the beginning of February, and according to Israeli law, if someone invades to a property that doesn't earn it, if you don't take him out at the first 30 days, the only way to take him out is through a very long legal procedure. And during all history of this place, every time when they invaded, they were never taken out in the first 30 days. This time, it was the first incident in all the history of the settlement here in Hebron that law was enforced really in time.
On the one hand, you have massive investments to set up communities there. I mean, what look like permanent towns and villages of Jews living in the occupied territories, but the West Bank has not been annexed. Military law continues to apply. So it's quite ambivalent in that sense. What is the future of those territories? I mean, in some cases, Israel maybe is operating contrary to its long-term interests, that areas that now the government is talking about pulling out of. I mean, we have invested a lot of money there. It will now take a lot of money to uproot those people.
אני מבקש מכולם להתפנות מרצונכם הטוב והחופשי.
שלוחי השטן! שלוחי השטן! שלוחי השטן! תלכו מפה! תראה, חרב של הגויים שרוצים להשמיד יהודים. תתביישו לכם! הסבא שלכם בוכה בשמיים עכשיו! תראו לאן הבנים שלו הגיעו! משת"פים של ערבים! משת"פים של ערבים גיבורים על יהודים, משת"פים של ערבים! אתם גיבורים על יהודים, משת"פים של ערבים!
We are faithful to God's word, to the Bible, and to the truth, not to this politician or to other. You know, in the Israeli history, in the Jewish history, in the Bible, there were many kings. Many of them were evildoers. Many of them were sinners. And the Bible doesn't say a good word about them. And the prophet said, you know, Elias, he said to the king, Ahab, you are a murderer. So to be a good Jew is to be faithful to justice and to truth, not to a political regime. It can be a king, it can be a prime minister, never mind. And this is what I would like to see all the moral people in the world that don't obey to sinners and corrupted regimes.
זה ערבי פה, זה בגד ישראל, זה התפקיד שלנו, כנגד ערבים, לא כנגד ילדים קודשים. כן, אם אתם יהודים, לא, אי אפשר זה פעולה. יש לב בתוך כל זה, יש נשמה, יש חסד, יש רחמים.
אתה גר פה, אתה עובד באיזושהי טלוויזיה? Just want to ask you, you're a reporter from where?
From Israel. I'm not talking to you. Are you because you're not because you're not. Are you pulling the people at the house?
No, I want to
right.
ask
So
you
I'm
a
telling people
question.
that I'm telling people. Listen, I'll talk to you next week. I'll have coffee in Jerusalem. Okay. You're crazy. כנגד ילדים, ערבים, שם, רק לי ערבים.
My fear today, my problem that I have today isn't with Hebron. My problem today is with the continued existence of the Jewish people here in the state of Israel, because we're committing suicide. We're virtually committing suicide, and this is what we have to stop. Could it happen? Could an Israeli government decide to pick us up and throw us out of our homes in Hebron? Yeah, it could. And it could happen anywhere today. However, if that happens, I think that we're dealing with an existential threat to the state of Israel, and that has to be stopped.
Without returning the whole West Bank, there will not be a just peace. There will not be a lasting peace. There will not be a peace. And you know, time is running out, and with 250,000 settlers in the West Bank, it's becoming almost too late, maybe too late already, because it will not be very easy to evacuate them. But without this, nothing will move, and we will go just from one war to the other.
Restore the olives. There is nothing. That's what's sleepy part. It needs clean, yes.
From the international law perspective, all settlements are illegal. The Israeli citizens should not be living in Hebron. It is occupied territory. You cannot have the occupiers' people living in that territory. But when you compound that with the reality of Hebron, I mean, you have a few hundred settlers, tens of thousands of Palestinians, and the Palestinians are paying a very severe price in restrictions on movement, in being subjected to violence, in all of this harassment and suffering as the result of a very small settler population. So if we are calling for all the settlements to be dismantled, it's clear that Hebron has to be first as far as we are concerned.
פלסטינים מאושרים פה למסוק את כל הזרים, יש פה צו איסור כניסה, כל הזרים אסור להיות. אסור להיות.
עד שיבואו, עד שיעיפו אותם, בוא נרד אנחנו.
איך תלך לפעם? זה של השכונה. זה שייך של השכונה פה. מה? בתוך השכונה, יש להם צו מאושר למסוק. זה חלקה של הפלסטינים. איפה עומד? בתוך השכונה. זה שייך פה לשכונה.
It's their policy. They want to push us to leave. They attack us. They want to make us suffering in our life. Also destroy our economic situation. When I have a trees, when I have a life, I will protect it. I'll try to live in it. But when I lose everything, they think that I will leave. But one day I told them that if I see my kids, my family, dead body, I will never leave this house. Because my father, he was dead body and did not leave this house. And I am the same.
יאללה, למטה. תעוף למטה. יאללה, נאצי, רד למטה. Look, man, look, you are a stealer. Don't steal our order. You are welcome. Come to my house. If you are Palestinian,
This is our land here. This is our land here. This is my land. No, this is my land here.
it's our land. What's your name?
תראה, הוא תוקף עם העדר. הוא תוקף עם העדר אישה עם תינוק. הוא תוקף עם העדר אישה עם תינוק. הוא תוקף עם העדר. הוא תוקף עם העדר.
There's no real debate about this in Israel. The ordinary Israeli has no idea what's happening there. He does not know, he does not want to know.
Oh, you're so human being. You're so nice person. You really care about human being. Only if they're not Jews. Only Arab as human being. Only they can be alive. Oh, you're such a nice person. Such a nice person.
My main complaint, my main scream, my main anger is toward the government who enables all this. Because you see crazy extremists, fundamentalists, you have in every society. The problem is how much power do they have and how much freedom do they have to implement their crazy ideas, their violent ideas, their vicious ideas.
הנה, זיתים! אבי, תן לי אומר, אתה לא מדבר באף אחד. מה? להפסיק מה? להפסיק מה? מה להפסיק? זה לא כבוד! זה הכבוד שאתם מביאים מחבלים לתוך החצר!
During all the human being history, a lot of disasters human beings did. Much worse things than the occupation, even in Hebron. But still, very few people did it. A bit more people benefit from it. But a majority of human beings in the world were silenced with it. And this is the problem. People must understand that in this situation, you have only two camps. Either you're for it or against it. Being silenced is being for it. Not everyone has to, to live a life of resistance. But everyone is obligated to stop being silent.